All right, people, welcome to Wash and Talk. It's turned out to be a pretty nice day. I thought I was going to have an overcast time to take my time out here this morning, but with the time change, it actually works out. So it's really only, 9 o'clock, or I guess 8 o'clock, not 9 o'clock. But anyway, I was making a video on the Detail Factory brush. I'll talk about this in a second. That's why I'm on the second wheel already. Told you I was gonna wear my Jordans to wash my car. I think these are like $290 or something stupid. So, yeah. But my, if you haven't heard, I guess I only talked about this inside the Hex, but I've decided that I'm not a Jordan guy. I'm gonna leave that back in my grade school days. So, I don't know. I just can't. I can't get into, I'm just not a collector of things. I don't collect cars, I don't collect stamps, I don't collect coins. I don't even collect money. I spend it on cool stuff. And that's what got me excited about buying some Jordans. But then the other day I was moving the darn things around and I'm like, I don't have anywhere to put this because I haven't got my closet organization yet. And even when I do, it's gonna take up too much space to keep all these stupid boxes. And Lewis has been telling me to get these Crep Protect cases, and Ryan had some of those. I'm like, these things are garbage. And then I wore these shoes, and the shoes are garbage. So, and then Lewis is telling me, well, man, it's a lifestyle brand. Yeah, a freaking garbage lifestyle, so I'm out. So now I'm just gonna wear these whenever I feel like it. And so I got 5 pairs. I think I'm about 3, 6, 9, 12, about $1,700 into this hobby. I quit. So I threw all the boxes away and I'm just wearing them. So no sneaker, fat dad sneaker guys. I'm just not doing it. Instead, I'm gonna turn into fit dad and keep wearing my Metcons, Ted. I remember I said I was going to wear my Jordans to wash the car. I'm doing it. These ones are actually not that uncomfortable. But they're still like garbage cardboard soles and just not good.
For like 4 hours.
Yeah, right. So, the State of the Union here. I need to hire... So I need you people to pack up your crap and move to Florida. Come in here, just email me, or email my mom, or email somebody, matt@obsessedgarage.com. I need to hire people for the warehouse, for technical support, for all kinds of crap. So here's the deal. You know, I don't have like $75,000 a year paying jobs. We don't have the margins to do that, at least not yet. We have entry-level positions. But I don't think anybody here has been stuck in an entry-level position for too long. I mean, more than 6 months. So I think that I know that it's like, for instance, Tommy came here and was packing boxes, and he immediately became a picker, and then immediately moved out of there and became a technical support. What do we call our tech support? Tech support. I don't know. Whatever we call the tech support people, the people that have all the answers. And then he became tech support lead, and now he's head of product development. So he's been, out of the warehouse pretty shortly. Lewis came from Atlanta. He was packing boxes, and then Lewis became head of customer support, and then right shortly after that became our graphic designer and creative writer. Robert came in packing boxes and then became a picker and then became sort of the warehouse. He became in charge of all the packages. Now he's purchasing manager. So story after story of guys that come in base, just to get in here and then transition to whatever it is they're on their path to be creating a position to do whatever it is they want to do inside of the organization. And we have, several other stories of the same thing. But I just don't have, again, I don't have the ability to pay somebody to come pack boxes $1 zillion. And so I think it's coming in the future where we're able to, get rid of the entry-level positions. We don't even have entry-level positions. But in the interim, like, we're all taking a risk here. Chris holding the camera, taking a risk. Left a high-paying job to come here and give it a shot. And do what he loves, and then hopefully, I think it's short-lived where we have to do this entry-level stuff to then come in to build the revenue stream to help everybody here that's come in and started out sort of at the bottom has come in to generate some more revenue in some form or fashion, whether it's directly attributable or attributable in some multi-step way. Like the warehouse people don't sell the stuff, but they help deliver the stuff. The other thing, and the reason why it works out so well for people to come in directly to the warehouse is because then you touch every product. You get to touch every product, figure out every package, so you come out of there with a real body of knowledge. It's like going to a university for however long it is that you're in there. But the local thing, the problem I struggle with hiring local people is they generally don't, they don't get it. They generally don't. We've had some good successes here hiring people locally, but this isn't a normal workplace. It's not a normal warehouse. We're doing something special here. So shoot me an email personally if you're interested in having a discussion about, getting you here. If you wanted to come here and get your foot in the door. And I'm telling you, you can shoot an email to some of the guys that have made the leap. Shoot an email to Tommy or Kyle, or shoot an email to Chris or Michael Waba, or any of the guys that are here about, you can get a honest take on what it's like. Hopefully they'll say good things. I think they would. But we need to expand the team, and I'm hoping that I'm going to start shouting from the treetops. I'm going to start working with local universities as well. But we're looking for talented people to come in and use your talent to help change the frickin' world, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm about. So that's my rant on what we need. And I get it, there's lots of companies looking for workers. I understand, Walmart and McDonald's are paying top dollar, but do you really want to work there? And I know everybody thinks that I'm just cashing my millions, but I'm telling you, I haven't. It's weird because, I buy all this stuff. I buy all these cars and buy all this detailing stuff and cabinets and things like that. And so I'm living this really cool life where I'm getting all these cool things that everybody wants. But that's what is necessary. I'm not crying about this because it's freaking awesome, but it's necessary for me to put in that investment. Like when I buy a car, yes, I want the car, but we need the car in order to engage you, to then buy stuff, to then create, an opportunity, to create a value set. I know some of you don't believe me on that, but that's how this has worked. And although we'll get more people watching a video where I'm shooting with a $600 camera, right now we're shooting on $25,000 worth of cameras. I think that there's a microcosm, and I think that you all reward us for that production value increase or evolution or whatever you want to call it. I believe that it's worth the investment. One, because I like the cameras and I like the chase of the camera and I like to have high quality things. But I think the effort is a microcosm of the future potential, future success. And that's the same thing for everybody here. I want people to chase their dreams, chase a career. But we're doing it in a startup, and we're doing it in a startup without anybody else's money. And so, a lot of these startups tech startups and stuff like that, they're using somebody else's money. They're using venture capital money. But the problem is, if I raise capital, then I've got people telling me what to do. And I'm sure there's ways to do it without that or with a little of that. But I'm switching to deionized water. But I think that I would like to do this without borrowing money. I'd like to do this without raising money, raising capital, if I can help it. Because then I can keep the vision true to whatever I dream up, without any influence. Because no matter what you say, as soon as you take the money, investors have influence. So, here goes the chair. People love it when that happens. Ha ha ha, watch the chair go away. Remember the buckets? People are like, the buckets are rolling away on you. Well, screw you. I don't like it when that happens, but. So the M3 giveaway. Whew, buddy, you guys are freaking awesome. This is why I need to hire people. All these ideas that I dream up, and then the whole creative side of the house that then executes. So just to give you an idea of what happens is I dream up something that I want to do. Like, this is convoluted, but I'm going to buy a trailer, and then I'm going to buy an 800-mile M3, and then we're going to give away my M3, but then that has to be executed on. And so that screws the video guys, and that screws Bryce and Brad and his team and the tech support team. So there's a before sale creative, I don't want to say screw, but it creates an opportunity, let's say, if I want to spin it. Really what it does is creates a whole basket of work. One thing we never do here is sit around and stare at the wall. There's just so much going on. Because again, I'm always dreaming up crazy ideas. So I dream it up, then they have the chaos of executing on it, and the rush. And even though no one knows what we're doing, we create sort of a deadline on things. And when you create that deadline, it creates some pressure and creates some need to get stuff done. So then after that, then Bryce has to build out the site, and the web team has to build out the products, and Tommy has to develop the kits and packages and things like that. And then Robert has to make sure the stuff is ordered, and then Ted has to make sure we have material in order to package the stuff. And it goes down the line, on and on and on and on. So there's a lot of preparedness, a lot of prep for when we do something like this. So there's a bit of a deadline, of a bit of organized chaos to create the need. Then Waba and Chris have to figure out how they're going to produce a video, and videos, and how we're going to produce ads, in the beginning of a pre-roll video for our videos. And this time I wanted to do a documentary on the M3, and so we have to figure out how to execute on that. And so there's all the pre-sale rush. But then after that, there's the post-sale. And so we have, part of what I've done over the last year or so is we've built out a much more sophisticated warehouse, where before the warehouse was just doing everything. And so now assembly isn't in the warehouse anymore. Assembly is at Curated Manufacturing, which is another company that I've built. So we pulled out all the assembly of all the guns and wands, and now we're building our own hoses. And because now we have that facility, we have the ability to do more stuff. Not just assembling the things we were already assembling. And then we pulled purchasing out of the warehouse and moved it over to the web team, the web and info team. And so that pulls another person out. So we pulled some people out of the warehouse. We pulled the responsibility out of the warehouse, but we've also grown substantially. So now we need to staff up in the warehouse in a rather terrible. There's two things going on. One is that we're at record employment, and then we're also at record money printing, benefit producing, time period. So getting a lot of people to come to work is not an excuse, but it's just a reality. It's a reality that a lot of people are saying, well, shoot, I can make, $16 an hour or $18 an hour, or I could sit at home and just pretend like I'm looking for a job. And you can't fault them, and they can make an equivalent of, $15 an hour doing nothing. It's hard to motivate people when, especially if you're doing a job that you don't like. I would argue that we have jobs that people like, so we can overcome a lot of that by hopefully making it decent to come here. But then the after sale part, so that's when the tech support guys have to double time it, and that's when the warehouse team has to double time it, and that's where the ordering team has to make sure we're ordering. And so the creatives still have to support it all, but the creatives exit their rush period of something like a giveaway. And then the delivering team, the team that delivers on the product, tech support and the warehouse people, then they have to deliver. They have to deliver what we just promised. And so now we had 1,400 orders yesterday, which is awesome. But it's 1,400 orders that we now have to deliver. And we were already behind because we had a remarkable January and a remarkable February because of all the work that the creatives did on the creative side. And then I have to keep this thing going. Like right now I'm out here making Wash and Talk. One of the biggest mistakes that you'd make in your career and business is to ebb and flow in and out of preparing, and this goes with saving, this goes with forecasting, this goes with selling, but you have to keep on it. You have to keep selling stuff. Give you an example. When I was in wealth management, especially when I was brand new, what I would do is I'd cold call. And then I'd get like 2 or 3 people from the cold calls to come in and do some financial planning and then signing them up as clients and filling out paperwork. And so then I would say, well, I'll cold call again when I have time because I'm too busy opening up new accounts. And so then what happens is you then, once you get all those accounts open, you haven't been doing any marketing, you haven't been doing any of the real work, and then people stop coming in. And so then you have to cold call. But you have these huge periods, lull periods, and then generally what happens is then people fail, because you have a real ticking time bomb. You have a clock. You have to gather a certain amount of clients, and so if you do that too much, then you're going to fail. And so with Obsessed Garage, if I shut it all down and say, look, no more sales, we can't be selling stuff, I can't be talking about new product because we're swamped with our current sales delivery, then we'll have you know, a lull. And that lull could be devastating, you know, could ruin the whole thing. You know, the whole company comes crashing down. You have to start laying people off. And so I stay laser focused on the, not so much the future. I mean, I do tend to, every freaking time, I don't understand. I need to pay attention. Every time I say I'm going to pay attention, and I slop it right on that same spot. So I just have to stay focused on the progression, you know, living in what's the next thing? What's the next thing? The magic of this whole thing is that I'm hyper interested and super motivated and passionate about whatever the next thing is. And so it works out fantastically well because of that. So it's not like with cold calling, I had to force myself to cold call with making videos and talking about new products and shopping for new things. Like right now I've been shopping for outdoor kitchen and how we're going to do that at my house, which then the intent is through Destination Obsessed Garage, which is the sister company we're creating. I want to be able to do outdoor kitchen stuff, so I think it's super cool. And I'm also frustrated in my ability to buy the stuff. You know, I don't want to go to a frickin' local goofball. I've been struggling with that, you know, buying from the local high-end appliance place. They just can't deliver. It's just terrible. They carry everything under the sun. They don't know a lot about it. And it's just frustrating. I don't want to deal with a frickin' salesman. I just want to go on and buy it. Just tell me what I need to buy. And I just want to go on and click the button, and then it'll show up when it shows up. And so I tried that with AJ Madison, and I mean, I just keep getting all these emails. I'm like, where is my stuff? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. Are you shipping it or are you not? They just send too many updates, too many convoluted updates. So I'm hoping we don't do that. That's why I need to work on a reserve your spot. I got freaking mucus all over me. So anyway, I think that I'm gonna keep chasing that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm talking about with, you know, me buying a house and moving a lot and things like that. It's something that I really want to do. I think it's fun. But in a long drawn out way, it's the business. It's how we make this whole thing happen. My chaos is what makes the thing tick. And then all the humans that are here execute on it. And so imagine this. So, Destination Obsessed Garage and international operations. So, we're going to be buying houses in various areas of the country and possibly the world. And then I'm going to make those homes, if I buy a home that exists, we're going to make it OEM plus. Right, leading with the garage. You know, the garage is the sanctuary. The garage is the most important part of the house to me. You know, for when I bought the house on Arlington, house I just moved into, you know, you saw me. I'm out there jerking around the garage, sweeping the floors before I even walked into the house. You know, to me, the garage is the anchor. The garage is the most important. It's the largest percentage of the house in most cases. And so, to me, the garage is what I lead with, but I still want my drawers organized. I still want awesome appliances. I still want my lighting in my house to be dialed in. And I found it very difficult to buy and find some of this stuff for the house. And so if I'm finding it difficult, and I'm a freaking professional shopper, it's got to be difficult for everybody else. And yes, I'm not going to invent anything. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here, but I'm going to change, kind of like in detailing or in pressure washing or in garage cabinets. reinvent your access to the information via YouTube, Instagram, obsessedgarage.com. And so the byproduct is then we get to sell the stuff. And the way I'm doing it differently than most marketers and most influencers, if you will, is I'm less focused on the views and the dollars that I would need to chase in order to get the views and like sponsors and things like that. And I'm more interested in building the retail outlet, you know, the consultative retail outlet that we're doing here, and modernizing the distribution of many of these really obscure but really amazing products. And so it's additive. When I start talking about Heston grills, and you didn't know anything about a Heston grill, and then like right now I'm searching, I want to watch videos on Heston grills, and the videos are terrible. There's only like 5 of them or 3 of them, and they don't tell me what I want to know. They just tell me a bunch of bull crap. They're missing all the basic stuff, like, you know, how do I put it in a cabinet? Show me that. It was the same thing in detailing. It's like, just tell me what to do. And nobody was telling me what to do. And so I had to figure it out. And then once I figured it out, I started telling you what to do. And then you can utilize whatever percentage of that you want in your own, developing your own process. So again, when I buy a car and I detail the car, you know, it allows me to tell people what to do. You know, here's what to buy. Here's, or not even what to do, here's what I did. And you can utilize that for whatever. You know, I talk about this a lot. I don't do how-to videos, I do how-I videos. Here's how I did it. And if you'd like to replicate that, here's an avenue for that. And so, back to my point I was making here. So imagine that I buy, you know, 10 properties throughout the country. Well, we're going to need people to take care of that place, to take care of the people that are borrowing it for money, to travel around and make sure the properties are. I mean, there's going to be a whole business built around this, or there's going to be all kinds of opportunities to travel, all kinds of opportunities to go and train other people around and do really cool things that I'm going to need people to do that, because I'm not going to be able to do all of it. I'm not going to be able to do any of it. And so you come here as a warehouse worker and you become, I don't know, head of international operations, where we're, you know, where we have Canadian distribution facility. We're in 7 countries, and so I need somebody to travel around with these 7 countries and quality control and I don't know, with whatever jobs we dream up that need to be done. Then you're making, you know, piles of cash, because you're helping create piles of cash. Or maybe that, you know, maybe we have an international media team if you're a traveling type. And then we hit, you know, 200 million and we have to buy ourselves a company jet. And so you're flying around on the company jet, because I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay here and play with my toys. I'm telling you, it's going to be freaking sweet. And it's all, the only reason it's happening is because of passion. I freaking love this stuff. And then all of you, or all the people that work here, are passionate too. And so when you put in a bunch of effort driven by passion, we get a whole lot more out of it. If you just come in and punch the clock, then, you know, we're not going to get very far. And that's a big difference. You go work for a big company, all the rules, all the policies and procedures are all established because somebody else established them. So then most of the growth is gone. Most of your potential is gone. You have more, you know, when you're working for a big company, or you're some company that's more established, that's been around a lot longer, the passion has waned. I rip on turtle wax all the time because their passion is gone. Now they just have people punching a clock. I mean, I don't know the inner workings of the company, but it sure smells like that. The passion leaves and the corporate structure takes precedent. Now, there are some real disadvantages to lacking in corporate structure. For instance, everybody here doesn't know if we're going to make it. Everybody here doesn't know what they're going to get. I don't know. We don't know if this is going to succeed. And so there's a distinct disadvantage to that. But the advantage is there is that huge potential, that huge opportunity. Alrighty, let's drying aid this puppy. I think we're good with the sun here. So we've started the process for Canada. So we've had some discussions with our accountants, I've had discussion with my accountant, and then we've kind of turned it over to Brad to execute on this, where we're going to start the process of getting the legal entity set up, then start working with the vendors to start lining up how we're going to get the product there, how we're going to distribute it. And then we got to go there and get some real estate. Sure seems like COVID's ended miraculously all of a sudden. So we'll see. I don't think the people are going to let them screw it up again and lock down the world. At least I hope not. I sure know we're not doing that. So hopefully Canada will open up and allow business to start happening. But I want to get there so that way we can get to the UK, then we can get to the EU, then we can get to Australia. And so that's going to require some jobs in Canada as well. So if you are Canadian, I think we're probably going to end up in like Mississauga, so in Toronto is probably where we'll start our first distribution facility. And then let's say I do get Canada does what I think it's going to do, we get a secondary distribution facility in and I would do it next to wherever the Destination OG property would be. And so I would envision that being in Alberta. At least that's what I'm thinking at this point. So although I'm talking pie in the sky, I've been talking pie in the sky since the beginning in this whole thing, and it keeps panning out. So maybe I'll start getting some stuff wrong here soon, but I don't know. Sure seems like it's gonna if you keep chasing passion, thing will just keep on rolling. I need some of you to come along the ride with us. I don't know what I'm going to do with the GT4. I've realized, you know, we got the May Mountains trip, so I'm going to take the GT4 then. So I don't know that I'm going to sell, unless somebody makes me an offer I can't refuse. I think I'm going to keep it for a little while. And I'll decide what to do when the touring shows up. But I did place an order for a Mira. That wouldn't be here for a couple of years, I would guess. So the new Lotus Emira. I've been talking about the idea of, what do you think about this? About the chasing Ferrari. You know, getting a Ferrari. And then, but I think in order to start being able to buy new ones, I think I have to buy a couple of crappy ones. Like I'd have to buy a Roma or two, lose a bunch of money on those in order to get access to the better cars in the future. I mean, I could buy used ones, but I want to be on the front end for once. The goal would be able to get every new Ferrari that comes out and be like the dealership's guy. You know, the guy they call, hey, we got this car. You want one? Do you want a Pista? Do you want a Speciale? Whatever the future version of those cars are. You've got to buy this SUV or whatever in order to get one. I want to be able to do that. So what do you think? Should I buy a Roma and start the process? Put in the comments, what's the Ferrari process? What's the process to get on the front end of the Ferraris? How do I get to be one of those guys? Do they really have a point system like what I've always heard about? Or you get credit for buying cars and then they sell the cars to the people that support them? How does it work? Since it's been a while since I've done a real proper cleaning of this, I washed this car at a seminar that I hosted not too long ago for the local Mercedes club, and I rush washed it the last one. Forget what I was doing. So I'm taking my time here today and doing a proper wash. This drying aid is so freaking good. Like, I don't know that it could get any better. The only thing I guess it could get better is if it had, you know, a little bit longer protection time, but I don't really care about that. It sure also seems to really support the coating, the longevity of the coating as well. It sure seems to be helping it last and perform by becoming the sacrificial layer. Wow, looks good. So I'm gonna start, I gotta call Barry and get him to send me the suspension for the E36. I think he has it. So I need to get my E36 on the road, especially since we're gonna take the Tesla apart and sell that. I wonder if Teslas are gonna see a bit of a boom with the increase in fuel cost. So maybe I ought to hang on to that thing a little longer until the pain. Sure doesn't seem like we're gonna see energy prices falling anytime soon. Man, what a beautiful day. Birds are out here chirping. It's not that hot yet. The heat's coming though. I'm ready for it. Especially after being a pansy in Idaho. Curtis's pressure washer turned out really great. But man, it froze my butt off when I was there. I'm telling you, come live in Florida for a couple, 5-6 years, and then go to somewhere cold. It's not good. Despite my waspiness, I've become a tropical person by proxy of being here. You have to somehow adapt and get used to the heat. Nice. Car looks good, man. So I'm back on carnivore. Today's day 3. I had the month of January, like a quarter of February. I was killing it. Down like 15, 16 pounds. The good news is I haven't gained any weight back. Even after I still did intermittent fasting through my move, and so I'm still down, but I'd like to lose another 20 pounds. Would be the goal. But I haven't been in the gym very much here lately. So carnivore consists of eating meat. I eat cheese, probably too much cheese. I'd be losing weight faster if I didn't eat so much darn cheese, but that's my solace in this carnivore life. But it really seems to work well for me. I feel really good. I don't feel deficient like I have in other restrictive type. And then the magic of it is like my joints feel magical. It's weird. I think it could be a long-term thing where I'm on and off, but I largely live a meat-driven life. I don't like vegetables. I think there's something to that, though. Like, obviously we'd all love to just eat sugar all day. I mean, that would be the, if you were to eat exactly what you love the most, I would be eating zebra cakes. But clearly that's not sustainable. But I think there's something to the fact that I eat vegetables and it makes me want to vomit. It tastes terrible. But yet I eat a steak, it tastes delicious to me. Maybe I'm making that up. Makes me feel good to wash a car and not be rushed, just to take my time, enjoy the process. It's not super hot yet. I'm not gonna have any more days like this. Soon I'm gonna be sweating crazy out here. So I might as well take it when I can get it. All right, let's do the wheels. So I'm gonna cut away from you and I'll come back and we'll do the last wheels and we'll wrap it up. So anyway, I just made a video on the other side of the Detail Factory brush, but this brush does require me to sacrifice a towel. Unless you dry it off the ground, it tends to grab all the water. So you don't want to do that. But it's a soft bristle brush. I think it's designed to clean interiors and stuff, but I'm using it for wheels and tires. And just watch how magical this is. Just do a couple of spritzes on here. It just leaves such a freaking amazing even layer of tire dressing in like 10 seconds. It normally would take me, I just don't like dressing my tires, and this has made it enjoyable. Kind of squeeze it, and I get the lip. I don't think this replaces the race glaze, but it's a nice addition. And I just take my towel, and wipe off the surface here, and then I'll come back and wipe it flat later. But yeah, this freaking brush is awesome, I'm telling you. By the time you're watching this, it'll be in the store, so you can go buy it. I think it's pre-order, meaning you can buy it, but we don't have it yet. But it's coming. It's so funny. I don't understand that the methodology of, in the last video, I guess we had to blur it out because we weren't supposed to have it or something like that. Like, I think Detail Factory is just some guy, you know, like a guy doing it on his own, and he's playing the same games that everybody else is playing, and that, well, we can't tell anybody, it's a secret, we're gonna launch it. Like, just freaking tell us what you're doing. Share the development process. It's like Porsche being all secretive. Like, what, somebody else gonna make a 911? Come on. What do we need to be so secretive about? Just tell us what you got. Oh no, we need to launch it. Launch it all at once. All right, people, that's a washed car. Hit me up. Tell me you want to come work here. Let's have a discussion about it at least. But I'm excited for the future, as you can tell. I think we're headed for even bigger things than we've already been lucky enough to experience. But got myself a clean GT4. I'm going to pull it over next door and maybe wash off my sleeve from all the snot. And keep chasing, keep fighting the fight, keep washing the cars. Hopefully Wash and Drive series should start soon, which will be a really highly produced series where I drive a bunch of other people's cars. That's also going to hold me over. I get to drive other people's cars and wash them, experience them, and that'll help me over the next few years because I plan to be a little lighter in my car ownership, even though I'm talking Ferraris and Emiras but theoretically, for the next year or so, I'll have a few less cars because I'm going to be focusing on building out Destination OG. Still doing wash and talk, still doing all the normal stuff I do, just doing it with a couple of cars instead of 7 of them. And that'll help my life priorities a bit and help me stay sane. So thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. The 2 Detail Factory brushes that I just shared in this video should be up. Drying aids in the store, bucket packages available. Of course, the pressure washing system. If you want a pressure washing system in the next 2 years, you want to order it now and just wait for the stuff to come in. And if you have a pressure washer, you can kind of use the stuff, the accessories with it, and then when the Krenzel shows up, you can get that. But I think we have ARs in stock. Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. I'll see you on the next one. This car looks good. See you soon.